Northeast. I pastor here, but I'm from Kentucky, and so if you need a translator, we'll have to work on that. But I'm going to tell you a story about this place I get to work every day, and it's just amazing. But we're going to set, no, that's way ahead. What happened? Did I hit it? We choose to grow the generosity. Now, my quote I'm going to use is from the preaching goddess Barbara Brown Taylor.
Yes.
Oh, I got to meet her twice. Anyway, that's another story. But she said and wrote in the Christian Century years ago, and when I talked to her about it, it is borne out, and I'm going to tell you a story that proves it. That the church is not supposed to take care of itself. That the church is supposed to spend itself generously in the world. And if we do what we're supposed to do as God's church, God will take care of it. So, fasten your seatbelts. It's going to go fast. My church is United Congregational Church, the oldest church in the city of Bridgeport. It's gathered in 1695, and some of my members remember that time. I am the 8th senior minister, the first woman senior minister, and that's our building. That's part of the problem. In the 50s, we were the WASP church. 3,000 members. Rufus Cushman was born there. When I got there in 2009, 5 years ago, we were down to about 300 members, half of whom couldn't hear. And about 500 if you take care of the village. And we're struggling downtown. Today, we are 400 active members. We have about 800 pastoral responsibility, and we're helping to revive downtown. This is our steeple. That's what the congregation looked like when I got there. And I had to take drugs just to go to church. But we had strengths. We have music. We got the biggest pipe organ in Connecticut. We have diversity. We got gay folks. We got Hispanic folks. We got Chinese folks. We got black folks. And two Buddhists in the balcony. But that's we have children. And we have a professional children's choir. We've got good leadership. We love food, which is why I look like I do. And we have this building, our 6th building. It is 22,000 square foot, and most of it's falling down around us, but we're slowly fixing it. But we seat 1,000. That'll be the day when we pull that many in. Our hall seats 250. We have 3 floors and 14 bathrooms. We have history and stature in the community. Everybody knows who we are. And so all I have to do is say, oh, the one on Park and State. Oh, yes. And that's before I dyed my hair, but don't pay attention. So I realized, somebody taught me a long time ago, there are 5 stages in the life of a congregation. You usually only get 60 years. That's the average age. Now in New England, we're like, oh, we're children. But all of us start a church with a dream. Then we build the ministry. And then we remember how great the ministry was. And we're in nostalgia. And then you decline, and then you die. Sounds like my mother. Sort of like that. But if you do not get a new dream, you will die. That's why 60 years is average. So we're at 320. I'm like, okay, we need a new dream. So that's what we decided to do. That was on the cover of the paper, that I'm going to change this old church. That's what I want it to look like. And Christmas and Easter, it pretty much did. Everybody has a good day once in a while, right? Again, change was inevitable. And I think my folks were desperate enough that they listened. So what we did, we kept asking, why are we here? What is God calling us to do? Well, our neighborhood is one of the poorest neighborhoods in Connecticut. Now, we are in the wealthiest county in the country, Fairfield County, surrounded by wealth of the Gold Coast, and we're in the poorest city on the eastern seaboard. It's just the dichotomy, you just can taste it. It's awful. And along with that becomes then racism and classism and, schools that don't work. So I decided we got to get busy. We got to throw those big doors of that church open and ask our neighbors, what do you need? They needed food. They need education. They need to learn English. They needed clothes so they could get a job. And so I thought, well, the only way I know to do that is throw the doors open, find out what they need, let's build that, let's serve our neighbors, and I bet there are folks out there in those rich suburbs are sick of country club churches and want a church that does the nitty-gritty, that does real things, is not worried when we'll make it. And friends, I don't know if we'll make it. We're on our way. But if I get 10 years of teaching people how to be good disciples of Jesus Christ, I've done my job. Amen. So, my goal is to be a mission magnet. Pull in folks that want the real thing. And don't strive to survive. Strive to thrive. So we built this, the Norma Freem Urban Outreach Initiative. It's a volunteer-powered, food-centered, community-anchored, not-for-profit that brings hope to our community through 12 direct service programs. And this is amazing. Those are the things we do. You can list them right there. I have a board of directors. I'm chair of the board. Half church, half community. It is amazing. And out of that has come all these people that say, hey, I want to help. Because friends, the fact of transformation, you cannot give a hungry person a plate of food and stay the same. And neither can they. And that's the transformation that's happened. And now, that's what the outside of our church looks like every Thursday, every Wednesday, every Tuesday. So, what's happened though, that was our not-for-profit. I knew our little church thought, oh, well, if we do that, then we don't have to do anything. Oh no, the church needs to do mission too. But out of that has come now, we were the first pilot program for having a church be an overflow during the cold winter nights shelter. We were open for over a month, every night, volunteer staffed, and a church up in the hills of Connecticut that had more money than God paid for it. Right on. But we were the pilot, and when you know the mayor of New York City is trying to figure out how to cover all the shelters that are overflowing, and he's studying the Bridgeport. Yeah! We started a meal at the housing project because the kids are hungry. We have senior care program. We have addiction recovery. We got every age group you can hear. Who made some up? We're taking 40 to Haiti this summer. 40 kids. We have a surf shop, a farmer's market, and our giving went over 2,000 over what was even pledged this past year. So our giving is up because the power of transformation happens when you give. And, speaking of steeples, this was something that they wanted to do when I got there, and I said, we're just not ready, because I didn't even know if we could pay the light bill. And friends, this was raised not out of our endowment, out of our pocketbooks, but also from the community, because where's that fabulous woman, Victoria? She's right. They've driven by our church for 320 years, and we went out and said, our steeple calls not only us to worship, it shows sailors into the port, it brings the hungry and homeless to our doors, and so Annie up, City of Bridgeport, and over half of the money raised was from people who are not members of our church. Woo-hoo! But I'm convinced it's because this picture now this is little old me, right there. That is 10 pounds lighter. That sign says, we have faith in Bridgeport. And there's an article in the paper that says, we are here, we're staying, we believe in you. Now, and I think it's because we're serving our neighbors. And now, we're living our new dream. So I'm going to go back to the preaching goddess, Barbara Brad Taylor. If the church does what it's supposed to do and be the church, instead of worrying about surviving, but doing what we're supposed to do, feed people, help people, encourage folks, be there for them, love them, be Christ to them, then God will take care of us. And every time this little congregation thought, oh Lord, what are we going to do? We just can't make it. Do you know that story about the guy on the roof and the water's raising and then God sends a helicopter? No, thank you. God sends a ladder. No, thank you. Every time I thought we were done, God would send a lifeboat and say, here, United Congregational Church, keep going. And I swear it is because we feed people, we clothe people, we love people. And what's happened out of that is we've been transformed. And the whole group that called me there 5 years ago, they're not there. They died, and I did a great. And all the folks now come in because they want real church. So be real church, friends, and you will be transformed. I want to end with a quick story. Our first night of our food pantry. We had everything. I lined up the cornflakes just like this, so it's just. I'm an old lawyer. I had everything in place. I had the queue lines. We were all ready, and we finished up. It was about 5:30. We were patting ourselves on the lip. We fed people. We gave people franks and beans, you know. And in walks this man. His name was Jose. He was brown and dirty. He had bad teeth, and he had heard. Because about us, and he came in and we didn't have a bag, we gave him a box of whatever was left. And he wanted to talk to El Pastor. Well, I know Ola, and then I get in trouble. So we got a translator over, and he told us that morning he had not eaten in 3 days. He had come to harvest vegetables that I could buy cheap. And he had run out, the work was over, and he laid in his little room down the street that morning. He said, God, I'm so hungry. Please give me something to eat. And I'm listening to him through the translator. You know, I got big tears. He had tears running down his face. He goes, and my friend came running and said, go to that church down the street. They're giving away food. And he lifted up his box and he said, look what God did for me today. That's church. That's church.